Hi. I thought I'd do a little voice recording. It's not a video. It's dark. I'm in the park. I'm actually standing on the lower part of the 1,000-year-old olive tree. I've got my hands on the trunk. It's a massive structure. It's 1,000 years old. It's doing pretty well. I like to touch it whenever I pass it. A couple of years ago, they built a little sort of fence around it. Before that, it was just stands in a little space. They built this little fence around it, but the fence is really low, so you can just step over the fence. And you put your hands on it, and I'm just feeling it now. You could you could call me a tree hugger, but I don't know. I think when I touch it, when I embrace it like this, it's 1,000-year-old living thing. That's amazing. You think about it. When obviously it was growing it was pretty old during the Second World War. I'm just climbing down from it now. So it was pretty old during World War II. It was pretty old during the Napoleonic Wars. It's interesting how we demark or scale history in terms of wars, not peace. But that's another debate. So here it is. Is it an it? Is it a he or a she? I don't know. It's got quite a lot of fruit on it, and I noticed recently in the park they don't collect the fruit. They used to collect the olives. They'd put like plastic mesh underneath the trees to collect them, but they don't bother now. It seems like this park is not kept the way it used to be. So yeah. So as I say, I'm out in the park. It's dark. It's very clear. There's Orion over there. I remember with my dad years ago, him showing me Polaris, but I couldn't identify Polaris tonight. And I'm sort of tipping my head back because it's obviously it's known as the pole star. It's the star that's closest to the true north. It's not magnetic north, but true north. If you take a time lapse photograph of the night sky, Polaris will be in the middle. That's why the navigators used to use it. That's why my dad was showing me it, because my dad was a ship's master, did his merchant navy officer training, rose up through the ranks, ended up being a ship's captain. And but I couldn't locate it tonight. I was arching my head back, and it's in the constellation of Ursa Minor. And I looked at my phone app. It's called Skywalk. It's actually quite good if you download Skywalk. I've got two. I've got the other one. I think it's called Celestia. I can't remember. But and it was showing Ursa Minor a lot lower in the sky than it should be. I think that's an error. It shouldn't be down that low in the sky. But as I say, I couldn't locate it tonight. But I can see Orion, which looks fantastic, over in the east, and I can see Gemini, and I can see Taurus. The moon is beyond half moon now, so it's getting quite bright. So without a torch here, you can see, it's like, the moonlight's quite bright, casting a shadow here. I don't know, I get the impression a lot of people don't go to places where you can see moonlight and be the problem we have is we have so much light pollution. I know when I lived in London, I could never ever see the night sky like this. Fortunately, quite close to where I live, we have this park, and it's quite big, and there's no street lamps. So, you know, I can come up here and in the evening and look at the stars, which is really nice. So, yeah. So the cryptos are a bit more buoyant today. What's the word? A bit more bullish. I think Bitcoin was 43,000 when I left. 42, 43. It dipped below 40,000 a couple of days ago. As I've mentioned before, the crypto fear and greed index was down in the teens 2 or 3 days ago. It's now about 22. So it's still pretty low. Ether dipped below, I think it dipped, did it dip below 3,000? Anyway, it's about 3,300 today. I haven't sold any. And the likes of Solana and Polygon are doing better today, which is good. So one thing I have to say about the crypto market, I mean this is embarrassing, but I recently was the victim of a scam. I was using a crypto mining site called Chainmine, and it was offering very, very good returns. That should have been an alarm, you know, a little bit of a red flag. Anyway, I created 3 accounts, and they were offering free hash power, but if you upgraded and invested via Bitcoin, you could increase your mining power and therefore, you know, mine a lot more Bitcoin very quickly. Anyway, of the 3 accounts, 2 of them I managed to get out, to transfer out more Bitcoin than I'd invested. So, you know, that's okay. It's not a lot. But the 3rd account, I thought I'd invest a bit more and just monitor it. And well, the bottom line is, on the 30th of December, they stopped the transfers out. So I still have that account. It's still mining Bitcoin according to their website. Who knows? Who knows if they're mining at all? I think it's a Ponzi scheme. And as far as I can see, the rest of there's a thread on Reddit about a lot of other people have lost money. And yeah, as I say, I should know better. You know, I know I've been in the investing, trading, financial game for years. I should have known better, but and the returns they were offering were probably ridiculously what's the word, optimistic, and so that's money down the drain. But fortunately, it wasn't a lot of money. It wasn't a huge amount of money. It was less than $200. So live to fight another day. Just write it off to experience. Yeah, I'm still fairly bullish on the cryptos. I don't think we've seen the highs. I think the big deal will be when Ethereum is upgraded to proof of stake from proof of work, which this is the problem. Who knows when that will happen? It's been talked about for a long time. I think the run up to that, the ETH should be very strong, and maybe it'll be a good idea to sell into the news when it actually happens. But I still think the vast majority of the public is not involved in cryptos. I think it's too complicated for them. That's not being. I'm not trying to sound condescending. It just is a little bit complicated. I mean, for IT people, it's pretty pretty simple, you know. But even so, you've got to do lots of stuff. You've got to transfer, and quite a few of the cryptos you've got to first buy one crypto before you can, you know. People don't realize you generally, what you do is you buy a stable coin like Tether, and then when the timing, when you favor the prices, you convert your Tether to Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever. But some of them you can't even do it with Tether. On Coinbase at the moment, Polygon, the only market they offer, I think, is Bitcoin Polygon. So you first got to buy the Bitcoin, and then you trade your Bitcoin for Polygon. So, and Polygon's having quite a good run at the moment. I think it's only about 20% below its all-time highs. So yeah, yeah, it's interesting. I think the world is changing quite quickly. I mean, it's interesting, the idea that you now can you can keep your money rather than in the bank. You can keep it in a crypto, in a stable coin if you want, and then you can stake the stable coin and get a yield, which you can't do in the bank these days. There's some pretty good yields on offer on stable coins if you're staking them. I haven't done it myself, but that's that's the way things are going. We're going to move to a system now. The complicated thing here, or the interesting thing is the central bank digital currencies. When they come along, they're going to. That's another facet to this, but they are going to be, as I've said before, they will be designed to be inflationary, just like the central bank currencies. And so you're going to have the digital dollar competing against Bitcoin and against Ethereum, and the digital pound likewise, and the digital yuan, the digital euro. You're going to have all of this, and it's up to us, I guess, to choose which ones we want to hold long term. I don't think it'll be a good idea holding central bank issued digital currency long term. I think they will be inflationary the way central bank paper is inflationary. If you look at the history of the US dollar, likewise the British pound, it's lost 99 point whatever percent of its purchasing power in the last. We hear that? I'm not quite sure what that is. Anyway, yeah, so they've lost vast amounts of the purchasing power. What is that animal? I don't know. That's interesting, isn't it? I'm just on the edge of this quite large forest where I think the sangliers live. I was up on top of the hill just before, and the sangliers have been up there and digging, and they completely dig up the hillside, looking for, I think it's worms they look for, and you can see the what do you call it, hoof prints. I guess sanglier have hoof prints, hooves. Yes. So yeah, they've been up here, and I've seen them a couple of times here, but it's quite hard to see them because I think they're pretty much nocturnal, and they'll be around here in a few hours. Okay, so that's my little update about cryptos and all of that stuff. Yeah, if you like the video or audio, then give it a like.